What's up, party people? Hope you are doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Mediocre Park. It's been a while again. I feel like that's just become kind of standard for the intro of this series now. It's just, hey, I'm back. It's been a while. But after the last one, I had even more electronic issues, and then college started absolutely smacking me harder than ever before. So I just decided it was probably in my best interest to wait until school was done, or at least kind of slowed down a bit. So now I'm on break, and I should be able to do these a little bit more frequently. I do still have to work because, I don't want to be broke as hell when I get back. And then I do have a couple trips planned throughout the summer, but other than that, I should be able to get one or two of these done a week to at least have some sort of surplus. If they don't come out weekly, at least I can get myself on some sort of a schedule eventually. But for this one, I wanted to take a look at this area right below this big, kind of carnival area that we did last episode, which is this little strip next to the sidewalk there in the middle. Not the big chunk in the bottom right, but just the little strip in the middle that kind of leads from the main street to the carnival area. I wanted to put a kiddie coaster in there because I just don't think there's a lot for kids in this park. I mean, obviously we did just finish the carnival-ish area where there are a lot of rides for kids, but there aren't a lot of coasters or anything for kids to get into thrill rides with this park. So I wanted to add one or two kinds of those things in the park, and so starting off, we're gonna do just the classic dragon coaster. And actually, when all was said and done, I was pretty satisfied with this layout. It took me a couple concepts to kind of bang through here and there in my mind and in the game, as you'll see. But once I got there, I was actually really satisfied with how it turned out. And I hope you like it as well. So I'm going to let this play out a bit, and I'll be back in a little to talk to you some more. Alrighty, so as you can see, we've kind of gone with a spiral concept type of thing, which I think is always fun with a kiddie ride. As you can also see right now, I completely forgot to put the drive tires leading into the spiral enough, so we'll work that out as we go. But just kind of wanted to talk about my thoughts behind this coaster and what I'm going for. So yeah, like I said, we're kind of going for this spirally type thing where it has a lot of these not really fast turns, because obviously it is still a kiddie ride, but I did want it to have some sort of a thrill element. I don't really like when kiddie rides are just really watered down and just kind of things to set a baby on when you don't want to deal with it in a theme park anymore. I like when they kind of tastefully introduce kids to thrill rides, and I think that's what I tried to do with this little bit. I added, you can see a little bit down the track, you saw it earlier, a little tiny airtime hill where you might feel a little bit of lift coming out of your seat. It's no Mako, but it's enough for a small child to be like, hey, this is kind of cool. And then obviously this isn't a ride for babies. This is a kiddie ride, not a a toddler ride or anything. So there's that airtime hill I was talking about. And I think this is just a good opportunity, kind of like a middle ground type of thing, to really introduce younger riders, or maybe even just older riders that are a bit scared of the bigger coasters, to certain elements of a coaster, like an airtime hill or a helix, not your traditional chain lift, stuff like that. So that's kind of what I took the opportunity to do here with this one. As you can see right here, it is going to be multiple lifts. It's not just going to be one and done. So it's not going to be a very short coaster, and that's another thing that I don't really like when people do with their kiddie coasters, because usually those are going to have a lot longer lines in general anyway. I don't like when they're just a really short ride. I remember as a kid, I would always just be so upset with most parks, because you'd wait in line forever for like the only thing you could ride at that age, and it would just suck. It would be short. There was nothing fun about it. It definitely felt like you were being babysat by a hunk of metal, and I think that's what I kind of tried to avoid with this, and I almost made like a kiddie hyper coaster. When you look at some of the elements I've included in this, and yeah, so I think this will be kind of a bang for your buck type of thing, which is what I'm hoping that the entirety of this park is. I want everything in the park to just be like, I want it to be quality, which is why I'm not really completely satisfied with the Main Street yet, and I'm really not satisfied with the double drop towers over in the carnival section of the park, because I don't want anything to feel really half-assed. I want everything to kind of feel like it has a purpose and has a point of being in the park and is quality. So yes, that's kind of my thought process for this kiddie coaster here. So I'm gonna let some more of this play out, and then I'll be back with you in a bit. seeing, I've just kind of been like tweaking little bits of the coaster, making sure nothing's too crazy, nothing's too tame, just kind of getting it that right balance, make sure it can get to the end. As you saw, I had a few issues with that. And so now I was just hopping on board to see if there were any like micro issues that I couldn't see from the top down. So here we go up this second lift here, speed it up a little bit, and then we're down into kind of like the hyper coaster. Put that in quotations, very big, because you know it is a kiddie coaster, but into like the hyper coaster section of this kiddie coaster, where at first, you know, they had kind of like the helix, the tight experience of like that type of coaster, and then in the second half they have this like little mini hyper coaster. So they get a little bit of everything on this. But yeah, so now I'm just kind of looking at how it blends with things, seeing how like the visuals are going to work, thinking about where I want to place decorations. And yeah, I think I'm really happy with this layout. Looking at it from the top down, you know, it looks great. I could see this definitely being drawn on a park map, like some fun like little dragon stuff, little fire on the map. And I think the layout would look really nice, hand drawn on a park map. And that's another thing that I always like to think about, is how it would be integrated, you know, into real life. And one of those things is a park map. So I always, anytime I finish any coaster, you'll notice that I look at the top down just to see if it's an absolute eyesore or if it makes some sort of sense. So that's kind of what I'm doing here and there, off and on. And now I'm just looking at the section next to it, debating what I want to put there. If I want to put another kiddie ride kind of sandwiched next to it, or if I want to just jump right ahead to the launch coaster. And yeah, so I'll just leave you with this for a bit as I check out some angles, and I'll be back with you momentarily. So there you have it. I did some mental calculations of what I want next door to this coaster, and hopefully I'll be able to reveal that to you in the next couple of episodes. Not entirely sure where I want to go with the next episode, if I want to keep working on this side of the park or if I want to give the other side some love. We'll just see how I'm feeling when I work on the park next. But yeah, there's the kiddie coaster. I really like the design. I think this is one of my best coaster designs, just from a standpoint of how creative it is as far as what I was working with and my vision. I think that I really put brain to paper, so to speak, very well with this creation. So I'm personally proud of it. I hope you like it as well. And then here's me, just the true sign of a section being done, or a coaster being done, is getting rid of that floor paint. So there you have it. There's the kiddie coaster. I don't remember if I've named it yet. So I'll have to check that when I get back in the park as well. It has been a while, but yeah, finished up the coaster, finished up the pathing. I'm still debating on the color. I don't know if I want to keep this color or not. I do kind of like the color scheme that it's got right now, but we'll see. And then there's the dragon just giving us a quick hello. But yeah, not sure when the next episode will be. I'm not gonna make any promises, because I know it has been inconsistent, but hopefully it's sooner than later, and I'll see you then.